Hi everybody, my name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. So today I want to talk about the benefits of decluttering. When we declutter our space, it is really beneficial for our mental health. It's really good to reduce anxiety. It helps to increase motivation and it helps us to actually be more productive. When we're living in messy environment, when we're living in, our environment reflects our mind. So if we have a cluttered environment, we have a cluttered mind. And the more we declutter our lives, the more our mind and our energy is decluttered. So it helps us in so many ways and it's actually so beneficial for us. And we take for granted how beneficial it is. We need to declutter things that no longer serve us. We need to get rid of and release all that old, heavy, dense material stuff, but it's also heavy, dense energy. Like this old stuff that we hold on to, that we hoard, that we think we need. It actually weighs us down. It can be really heavy on our mental health, and that can actually affect our physical health as well. But I've noticed it as well. I was so messy. I was so disorganized. And a friend of mine mentioned lately, she said, apparently intelligent people are more tidy. And I said back to her, my cleaning habits or my organizational skills are very bipolar. Because she mentioned, it depends on your mood. And it does. Like when I'm depressed or when I used to suffer from depression and anxiety, I lived in a very cluttered environment, very messy and very disorganized. And there'd be times then as well, you'd be so depressed you wouldn't even want to do the dishes, and then the dishes would pile up and you'd feel more depressed because there's thoughts doing the dishes, but then the messy environment would make you feel all depressed as well, and it was like, one vicious circle. But the minute you did those dishes or tidied up a little bit, you actually felt better. Even if you are suffering from depression or something and you're too lazy to do something, or not lazy but just don't have the energy to do it, and you're like, it's depressing, I can't do it. But when you actually do it, it actually builds your mood. It lifts your mood so immensely. And I've always been, since a few years ago, I was so messy. And I had some friends over for a party and there was just mess all over the kitchen table. There was papers, envelopes, there was just shite all over the place, and one of them commented on it and I was like, oh no, it's grand. And one of them then said it's organized chaos. And I was like, no, it's disorganized chaos because I have no idea what's there. And that's when I started to wake up a little bit and I started to kind of go, okay, yeah, stuff is a bit messy. Maybe I should tidy up a little bit. And it never bothered me before. I think I grew up in an environment that there was a lot of clutter, a lot of stuff, a lot of busy, do you know what I mean? A lot of material things. And as I started to spiritually awaken as well, I've let go of an awful lot of stuff, a lot of, stuff that no longer serves me. And I remember after that going through the papers in the spare room and stuff where I'd stored everything. I had letters there from 10 years ago. You know what I mean? I had letters there from when I was in school. This kind of thing, and it's nice to look back on these things, but you have to let that energy go. Sorry about that. Shh. Sorry about that. So you have to let that energy go. And I find with things as well, oh my God, this is another one, right? Juju, right? If you hold on to stuff from the past that reminds you of certain things from the past that weren't good, this can bring bad energy into your life. And I didn't even realize this. And when I was reading about bad juju, holding on to stuff from ex-boyfriends and stuff like that, this carries that negative energy, especially if they're narcissists, or misogynists, like I've gone through. This carries that negative, toxic energy with it. And when I realized about this juju, I looked around, right, my space, right, and I was like, oh my God, I had two dressing gowns. One was from when I was in my 8-year narcissistic relationship. The other one, the misogynistic wife beater, I call him, fucking his mother gave it to me, right? And I was like, oh my God, burn them now. And that's when I realized, I looked around my home and I was like, oh my God, that there was so much stuff that I still held on to from my ex relationships, my past relationships. And I was like, this stuff has to go. And don't get me wrong, at the time now, the place looked quite bare afterwards because most of that stuff had come from my past. But to get rid of that energy was so uplifting, so beneficial. And so over the last few years, I've made a point of decluttering anytime it gets messy. Now, my mood has gone up and down the last few years because I've been on this ascension journey, and it is a roller coaster. It's zigzag. There's no straight lines here. And I've decluttered, and then I've messed again, and then I've decluttered, and I've messed, and I've decluttered, and I've messed. But I've been guided so much at the last 2 or 3 months to declutter. The universe is guiding me to declutter. And I know when the universe removes stuff from our lives, it is making room for something way bigger and way better. And I've been guided to declutter loads and loads of things. And it's like not just decluttering your space. Like this is an example actually. Like, you know, the declutter itself will add to your low vibration. Because I ended up getting a new wardrobe the other day, and I obviously bought clothes to go in the new wardrobe because I had no space in my original wardrobe. And like literally I assembled the wardrobe, and then I put all the new clothes in my old wardrobe, stuffed it all in there on top of everything else. I was like, I'll deal with that another day. I've been looking at it for the last 3 days going, oh my God, it's just, no, I can't do it. And I decluttered all that this morning, and I'm like, oh my God, it's just, everything looks nice now. And that's what I've been doing over the last few months really, is I've been tidying and decluttering and organizing more than I ever have. And I'm looking around going, how did I ever live like I used to? Simple things. Like even where my spices are. I used to cook and I'd be like, I'd put them back up and they'd be all messy and I just wouldn't give a shit. And then you go back to try and then you'd be looking at, you'd have to check each one then every time you use it. Like just push them into the sides. They're all in a line. You have them all color coordinated and bang, you just know which one to pick up. You know which one to put back. And like I'm after decluttering so much over like my space. And even, you know, it looks healthier, if you get me. Because when you're surrounded by clutter, it feels heavy. It feels claustrophobic. And that's another thing. Having a cluttered bedroom is not nice. If your bedroom is messy or cluttery or, you know, untidy, this will lead to broken sleep. This will actually lead to unhealthy sleeping patterns. And then the messy kitchen as well. You're less likely to go into the kitchen and, you know, cook good meals. But since I started organising my kitchen, I'm in there cooking properly now. Whereas before I used to throw something into the oven and I'd be like, it'll be fine, I'll go back to it in a minute. But now I'm actually actively cooking healthier and just more enjoyable meals than I ever did because my space is decluttered. My anxiety levels are way down because I'm not surrounded by mess. I have, like, you know, there was so much around. Like I had DVDs and everything just all over the place. I don't even watch DVDs anymore. Do you know what I mean? I got rid of everything that I don't need. Like the only kind of ornaments I have around are ornaments that uplift me now. Do you know, like unicorns and stuff like that? Like, you know, stuff that brings joy to me. And everything else is just clutter. Get rid of it. It's so beneficial for your mind and your soul. And like, it's not just decluttering your space. Like if you're working from home as well, especially, declutter that, because then you have no distractions and you're at your task, you're doing your work and you're not distracted by this clutter, this noise. It's noise really. You know, it's silent noise, seeing so much mess around the place. And there's another thing I have a few things written down here, but there's another thing. Oh yeah. So not just decluttering your space, decluttering your environment, your energy, the people in your environment. So that's another thing the universe does when you're ascending or when you're going through this healing journey. Because we were in a low vibrational energy before, our circle was the same energy we were. But as we ascend and raise our vibration, our energy will no longer match the people that we once spend time with. This is another way of really benefiting your mind, your body, and your soul, is by decluttering and checking the people in your lives. And like I noticed this myself. The universe lately decluttered my Facebook page for me, because there's another thing about that. Like, you know, decluttering your devices. But like, the way, you when you start off on Facebook, you add everyone, and this is years ago when you're a child or a teenager, and you just have millions. I had about 800 friends on Facebook, and did I know half of them? No. You know what I mean? None, didn't. I mean, I went through them at one stage, and I blocked a few people, and I got rid of a few people, but I still had around 700 or 800 people on my friends list. I didn't know half these people. You know what I mean? And then I was like, my Facebook page was hacked, and I had to start all over again. And I took this as guidance from the universe to declutter to actually declutter my Facebook page. And now, lately, I've never really decluttered my devices. Lately, I'm having to declutter my phone, my computer, all my files. Everything is just being downsized. It's making room for something more to come in. And I can feel it. I can really feel it. I've often decluttered or out with the old and with the new, and something new might come in. But literally, I'm on this kind of rampage of decluttering the last few months. It's unconscious. It's being guided for me. I'm not saying, oh yes, I'm going to go and declutter today. This is not what no one wants to fucking declutter or clean, but I'm being guided day by day to clean or declutter another part of my space or my environment or my devices, and it is so beneficial. It is so beneficial. And there's a list of stuff here that I wrote down that can actually really help because of decluttering. Even actually, I've written it down here as well, changing around the furniture. That's another thing. Do you know when you're in a sitting room or your bedroom, if you can, change around that furniture, because you get really stagnant kind of energy, really heavy energy, and feng shui, did I say that right? That's really good as well for making sure the furniture is aligned for the energy and stuff. I don't really know that much about it. I just know that you have to face stuff a certain way for it to be good for you. I don't know. But yeah, changing around your furniture can really uplift your energy as well. Just, making the space around you more comfortable, more enjoyable. Because when we are surrounded by clutter, it is claustrophobic, and it's not healthy. And as I said, if you declutter your space, you declutter your mind. It's so beneficial for your mental health. It actually reduces stress and anxiety. There's less to weigh you down and less to distract you. It helps you to feel better, and it helps you to be more productive. It actually helps you to increase motivation as well. I don't know what to say. It reduces stress and anxiety. It makes space for new to enter. It actually aids in better sleep. It aids in healthier eating. It actually improves your relationships as well, because there's less tension. And it helps you to improve mindfulness. So you're more mindful when, you're not, when I don't buy much materialistic things anymore. I'll see something, and unless I'm really drawn to it, I'm not going to buy it, because I'm like, that's just a dust collector, or that's going to just go in a box and I'm not going to use it. And we hoard these things that we don't use. And that's another thing. It's so beneficial. When you're clearing out your wardrobe, once a year, obviously, twice a year, you change around your wardrobe. You bring out your summer clothes in the summer, and you store your winter clothes, and vice versa. And that's what I was doing today as well when I was organizing my closets. But if obviously there's certain things that you didn't wear since last year because it's summer clothes, but there is stuff that is in your closet that you're going to kind of say, when was the last time I wore that? Did I wear this last summer? And if you didn't, give it to charity, throw it away, something, just give it away to someone, anything, because, we're holding on to these things that we won't wear again, ever, and we outgrow them. Some things are good to hold on to, and, obviously, just don't hoard is what I'm trying to say. We tend to clutter. We tend to say, I know when I'm decluttering anyway, I'll pick up something and go, maybe I'll get some use out of this. And then you're like, no, the last time I decluttered, I said the exact same thing, and I did not use this item in the last year. So I'm getting rid of it. And that's the thing, a lot of things we hold on to is because, I might need that. And 2 years, 3 years later, you're looking at something going, I've never needed that. Will I ever need it? No. Bin it. Throw it out. Give it to charity. Give it away. Sell it. Whatever. Just get that shit out of your house. really helps with your energy. It really, really, really does help with your mind, your body, your soul, to get this shit out of your energy, out of your space. And the same with people, your environment, your devices. You know, we're friends with people that are complete strangers, and you know, like obviously we meet friends through strangers, but some people that we've added on Facebook when we were young children or naive, you know, they're not people that are in our energy anymore. We need to get rid of that and make sure and block any negative people or, you know, ex-partners. Get rid of all that stuff that reminds you of your ex, because it doesn't help. It really, there's juju on that. There is absolutely bad negative energy on stuff, especially if you were with narcissists or low vibrational energy partners in the past. Get rid of it. Sell it. If they bought you nice, expensive things, sell it. Just get rid of it. Holding on to stuff that belongs or reminds you of toxic past relationships is really unhealthy for you. And I've noticed this, like when I decluttered that time, when I learned about that juju and that bad energy, and I looked around and I was surrounded by both my toxic exes' stuff or stuff that reminded me of them, and I was like disgusted. I felt so icky. I wanted to set fire to all of it, and I just got rid of it. The minute I got it out of the house, everything felt clearer and felt so amazing. And like, you know, decluttering doesn't mean necessarily getting rid of things. Organize your space. Like, I'm looking around here now after the decluttering I've done this morning, and I'm like, oh my god, once again I'm saying to myself, how did I live the other way? Do you know, when I was all messy and erratic, it's just, it's not nice. And even I cleared out my office space the other day, actually it's a few weeks ago now. You know, everything was pushed into the corner. All my like, it's an office space and a walk-in wardrobe, and like all my shoes were all just in the corner, disorganized, and I tidied them up and I put them all, you know, together in line and stuff. And now I go in there and I'm like, oh my god, this place looks so nice. Do you know, and you want to be in this space, you know, because I was like avoiding going in there because it was so messy. Do you know, that kind of way? The same with anywhere else. You avoid doing things if something is messy. I was avoiding my wardrobe for the last 2 days, and I was like, I don't want to do this. And I decluttered it today, and now I'm like, I now can see where things are. Do you know what I mean? Like, before I actually, when I was clearing out, I was like, oh my god, I forgot I had that. And you're like, because I'm looking into the wardrobe and I can't see anything. Whereas now I have everything organized. It's like, now you can just go, oh, I want this or this or this. And it's so much, it's such, like, every time I look at my new organized space, you know, the stuff I've done over the last few weeks as well, I'm like, wow, this is so much easier. Life is so much easier when you actually just take that time to organize your space. It really is. And I just keep asking myself, how did I live like that before? So it is so beneficial to do this. And another thing before I go is about decluttering our mind. We tend to, we stress out. We have so much going on. And like, this is the thing, right? People think that they have memory loss or that their memory is bad. Your memory is not bad. Your memory, you forget things because you've too much on your mind. You're too busy. Your mind is too cluttered. Your mind is too busy. And when you declutter your mind, you end up getting this genius brain because you end up remembering things that you don't even know you know. Do you get me? So like, you know, decluttering the mind is so beneficial. So like, when it comes to, if you're stressing over anything or you have a massive lot of things to do, write it down. Lists are fucking amazing. Write that down, because every time, like, you know, if you get stressed out about stuff and you've got all this stuff in your head and you're like, oh my god, I can't do it, and you just get more stressed, write that stuff down. And you know, when you write it down, that makes it easier. It's like a weight lifted off your mind. But then you get to tick off the list, and every time you tick off something off the list, you're like, yes, boost. You know what I mean? And you're getting high from achieving these things. So not only are you decluttering your mind by writing the list down and all that stuff isn't going, it's actually there in a list, and it's like, it doesn't actually look that bad. But when it's going like this in your head, you're like, you feel like you're going to explode because you don't have enough time to do all this. Write it down on a list and you're like, that's not going to be too hard. We'll just do one at a time. Perfect. This is easy. And that's great as well. And another thing as well is we bottle things up. we bottle our emotions up. So it's very, very beneficial to speak to people, through journaling. I wrote that through journaling, through open dialogue, or speaking to someone. So even therapy, getting that stuff, that stress out of your mind by journaling down, writing down your thoughts, getting it out of your mind and onto paper makes it so much easier. Talking to someone you trust makes your life easier, because I've always struggled asking for help, and it takes me a long time before I actually ask one of my friends for help or tell them my problems. And when I do, it's like, oh Jesus, I should have done that ages ago. Do you know what I mean? It's such a relief, and they can actually help you then. And what I actually do as well is I have open dialogue with myself, so I'll be my own therapist, and I actually talk out loud to myself and I talk back to myself. So me and my unconscious mind, we have a back and forth conversation with ourselves so that I can get to the bottom of my problems and my core wounds. And it helps me every day to do that. But getting it out of your body, getting it out of your mind is so, so beneficial to get you to a place of peace, of serenity. And that's what it's about. Having this decluttered energy, this decluttered space, this decluttered mind, this decluttered environment, declutter all that negative energy, all those negative people out of your life, all of it. It's a breath of fresh air, and it makes room for more. And that's what I find so exciting right now, is because I've always been led to declutter and something new comes in and all that. But I'm on this rampage, as I said, of decluttering. And it's one thing after the other. And I know I'm not finished yet. I still have a lot of space to declutter at the minute. There's still a lot to do. But I'm after decluttering so much more than I've ever decluttered before. And I can just feel this energy coming in. I can feel that this is for something big. Because, as I said, the universe removes something so something better can come in. It makes room for something better to come in. But if you get to declutter big time, on a big scale, that means something humongous is coming. There's something really big coming. And it's so exciting. The vibration, the energy, the everything is so much cleaner. It's so much fresher. It's so much more free. It is just so much more exciting. And it is hard to get down to the nitty gritty and do those things. But I'm telling you, I was staring at this, you're staring at it for a few days, and this is making you depressed looking at it. And the minute you tidy it up, I had all this shit on my bed this morning, trying to clear out this stuff. And I was like, oh God, where do I start? But then after it's done, it's just like, wow, this is brilliant. I want to do this all the time. And I'm just excited now to see what's to come in. And I have my spare room to declutter now, and I have the shed to declutter. And once I get those done, everything is going to be just perfect. And I can feel it in my mind already. I just feel a lot more free. I feel lighter. That's what it is. I feel lighter because I have decluttered so much, and I am still doing it. But and it's not, as I said, organization is key as well. Organizing stuff. At least you can see where it is then, you know what I mean? And you're not fucking looking on, Jesus, where is it? You can find things better, and it looks better. It's just so good for this, so beneficial for your mind, your body, and your soul. So if you're being guided to declutter, it means that you are going to welcome in something amazing. So the sooner you declutter it, the sooner this magic can come into your life, because the sooner you're going to make room for it. So yeah, decluttering leads to excitement, it leads to peace of mind, it leads to internal peace, it leads to external peace. It just leads to a lighter, more optimistic, positive, high vibrational energy, and as I said, get rid of all that shite that reminds you of your exes. Get rid of it. That is not good stuff to hold on to, and I learned that a few years ago, and I had to start again after my exes, but all that stuff, I was looking around going, Jesus, that reminds me. Get it out. Get it all out. Get that juju out of the house. Get this house nice and clean. Get the energy good. Get your mind and your body and your space and all of it. Get your environment. Get all of it clean. Get it all clear and happy and light and fresh and just positive again. So yeah, start decluttering now so that you can welcome in the new and welcome in the exciting and whatever whatever magic the universe is going to bring in for you, because decluttering happens for a reason. Out with the old, in with the new, make space for what is to come. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this helps. If it resonates, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so that I can help as many people as possible. And if you would like help in your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I would love nothing more than to help you on your path. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.